Just going to have a quick session today. Subscribe to my community now to enjoy exclusive stickers, content, and chats. That's what it says. But yeah, just welcome to everyone. Welcome to everyone to my live. Little intriguing process. Content creation can be hefty sometimes. It is definitely a very patient task to create content and expect a lot of changes to come in the life, but content creation it has always been hit and miss for many people. You see many people come up, start something for a day or two, and then just leave because they did not see any result that they expected. Content creation is a very hefty, very difficult process. It's long bargaining and it is a hectic work. Things won't change within a day or two, but all you have to do is just keep yourself working, keep yourself putting those efforts to gain as much as people you can as audience, and then always think about the content that you're producing has a certain set of audience with you. So currently I'm working on the AI contents that generally has Bigfoot and the content that related to Bigfoot in the office, Dr. Bigfoot and various other contents, but I think it is what it is. It is what it is. Welcome everyone to the live. Welcome everyone who has been here. Thanks to everyone who's left. Welcome to everyone who is here. I'm trying my best to get as much as people come up to the live, but yes, guys. Hopefully everyone has some kind of questions, some kind of answers, some kind of queries to ask or look after. It's always a long process. Content has always been the long process. There are people with 5 or 10 years in this platform, and usually in YouTube and different other platforms, and then they've not been successful. There have been the stories of failure. There have been stories of people where they've lacked putting down the quality content. Because of that, they've always struggled to find out the real resolution to what they could have been. But apart from that, I guess as much as work you put down, I think it's always going to be fine. I welcome everyone to the live. Selamavit Alim says hi. I say hi back. Hello. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing good. Yeah. So recently I've been trying to experiment with a couple of different channels from TikTok and YouTube, and certain YouTube channels is kind of working well, but there's some which has not been off to the good mark. I had one channel that really clicked well, but now I think I had a week-long break, and I wanted to take that experimental break. But I think as soon as you take a break, I think the algorithm just kind of breaks down on the content's saturation, and now my content is getting kind of saturated. So let me figure out how I can get back on track. Welcome everyone. Yeah, let me know what questions you have. I generally make content that is based on right now I'm making content that is based on AI, can I see your screen? Like, what screen do you want to see? I'm on live, so literally there's no screen that I can show you. I cannot show you any other screen. Salam. Hello to everyone who's live in here. Hello everyone. It's been a dark night. The nights are dark. Hi Salam, hi. The nights are dark. Wow. Salam saying hi, hi, hi so many times. Welcome everyone to the live. Welcome everyone to the live. Thanks for spamming W. Woohoo! Thanks for spamming W. Woo! Whoa, 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 whoa. I really like that. Yay, Salam. Yay, 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 yay. Thanks for spamming W, I guess. I'm going to be a millionaire very soon with that W's. I don't know who's that. Ava. And right, so I was talking about different contents that I've been making, and I don't. Contents can be hit and miss. Contents are never something that can absolutely guarantee you a lot of progress within a day. But I think it's just you just need to be very calm and very composed, and not just lose hope. Do a backflip. What do you mean do a backflip? No way. So I cannot do a backflip. Backflip is not for me. I am not too athletic to do any kind of backflip. Backflip is for people who are very athletic and who can do backflips. Not me. Not a backflip guy. I can. What is your SF6 main? What do you mean? The Jazzy Melon. The Jazzy Melon says, who is your SF6? I have no idea what does that mean, but I don't know. Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter. Street Fighter. Street Fighter 6. What is that? Can you give me more insights? What exactly is that? Is it an arcade game or something? Street Fighter 6, is that an arcade game, or what exactly is it? It's a fighting game, yeah, that's what Jazzy Melon says. It's who is your I have no idea. I have not tried this game, but I can definitely try and play the Street Fighter 6. What else? What other game do you think? Sylvie says, do? Like what? It's Zangief. Zangief? Okay. I don't know. I've not tried the game, but I can definitely try. Dorsa says, I'm trying to make my friend jealous. People follow. Sure, yeah. Just follow Dorsa, guys. Follow Dorsa. Definitely keep following and keep liking each other's content and make them famous as much as you can. Yes, the Jazzy Melon says, you main Zangief. Okay. Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, I've not tried this game, but the only game I kind of play is I only play FIFA. I only play FIFA on my PlayStation, but that's it. I'm not really into a lot of games right now. I've been kind of busy with the work, but yeah, not really into games. But I really have to start I think doing some gaming. FIFA is a banger. Let's pick the team. I would always go with Real Madrid. Real Madrid or I would go with Real Madrid or Man City. Yeah, on FIFA. If I have to play FIFA, Real Madrid or Man City, anytime, any day, against anyone. I think the FIFA is made in such a way that Man City is technically a very strong team. Bayern, I like few players who are in Bayern, but I'm not somebody who would pick Bayern. I would like to play against Bayern. I don't know why. I just want to play against Bayern. I just love playing against Bayern Munich. Bigfoot's Office Live. Okay. Yeah, I've been. I like the team. I like the team Bayern Munich, but I just love to play against them. This gives me a different feeling. Real Madrid versus Bayern or Man City versus Bayern, and I would absolutely thrash Bayern Munich like 5 or 6 goals. You know, on my day. Fair, it's a tough team, but Haaland is too good to not be on your team. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I think Erling Haaland is the character that Man City has produced. Even he was good when he was at Dortmund. Erling Haaland was definitely good when he was at Dortmund, but you know, it is what it is. He's in Man City right now, no Kevin De Bruyne. So this year is going to be a real test. This year is going to be difficult for Haaland without De Bruyne. But they have Reinders. Reinders has come from AC Milan, right? So he's come from AC Milan, and he technically plays the same kind of football that De Bruyne plays. Actually, De Bruyne would play much better, but I think for now, Reinders and Erling Haaland could be a very good combo. And also, they've got really good picks from their squad, from the Zune squad, and from the academy. So I also love that kid, Mikati. Mikati. I don't know how he said Mikati. He came from the academy of Manchester City, and then now he played a couple of games in the last season. He's gonna probably play more this season, so I think Mikati is going to be fun to watch uh, in coming days. It will be interesting seeing what they will do this year. I don't know about a league title, but I think if we give it a few years, they can get moving good. I think this year is going to be Man United's year. Some really good buys, some really good picks from the academy as well. Good investment on Kobe Mainu and Patrick Dorgu. I think what else they have? They still, I feel they need a good goalkeeper. They need a better goalkeeper, but they've got Gunha. They've got Mbuma. What about Brian Mbumo or something? Um, they've got Bruno Fernandes. I think they've got a good solid side. Man United have got a solid side, so I think Man United is going to be more stronger this season as compared to last few seasons. They really have a good side. I would doubt. I would doubt if that team does not be goes to the Champions League this year, because they really have a good side. Really a good side. Really a good side. And I think Nottingham Forest. I think Nottingham Forest are going to be one of the worst side this season. I don't know why my guts say Nottingham Forest is not even come to top 10. That's what I feel, but who knows. The only reason why I think is because of the Nottingham Forest's owner, the guy who's, I don't know what, something was wrong with him last season. Uh, so yeah, Street Fighter 6. I did check it out. Street Fighter 6. Yeah, I've not tried that. Maybe we'll try in a couple of days if I get any time. But yeah, apart from that, yeah, I do watch a lot of soccer. I do watch a lot of soccer. I do bet on a lot of sports, mostly soccer teams. I don't really bet on any other sport, just the soccer. I think soccer gives me more vibe. It revives me to put down more energy and more enthusiasm. Okay, guys, let me know what do you think. I'm also recently I've also been watching a lot of UFCs. I've been watching a lot of UFCs. Recently I'm watching a lot of UFC fights, and then I've been following a lot of UFC right now. Um, I've been watching a fight from all over the world, and I don't know. I just feel, sometimes Khabib might come back for a couple, maybe one or two fights, and then give the viewers more of what they wanted. But I think this, recently I've been following the fight of Anderson Silva, and he's doing. I think I like his moves when he tries to attack. He has got really good attacking mindset, and then I don't know. John Jones has a really good fighting technique as well. But these ones are the big ones. I also watched a lot of not the not pro of the fights, the MMA, the mixed martial arts. I do watch it from all different parts of the world, and yeah, different people have their different aspects. But I think MMA is getting bigger and bigger now. You know, there's so many people who do really want to see like the extreme version of the fights. Back in the days when WWE promoted the extreme version of the fights, where there used to be blood sets, where there used to be a lot of injuries and all, people like that. Now WWE has been more of a practice stunt, and because of that, I think people have switched to MMA more than WWE. And I can definitely vouch on why people would do that, because now WWE is being so commercialized that it does not give the feeling or vibe of being a fight anymore. It's just like, I don't know. It just feels like it's just kind of a movie, a well rehearsed movie or something like that. But I strongly believe, when we are watching people who all over the world who watch fights, they do want to see the real fights. They do want to see the real stuff. And I think mixed martial arts, um, MMA all over the world, UFC, MFN, and there's so many different events going on, and people do really. I think I do see people. I do see people uh, vouching on it. Hello and welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the live. I hope guys are just waking up sometimes and making some content as well, rather than wasting the time doing nothing. Just put down some time and make some content, and you never know when you're going to blow up. It is life, you never know when your life is going to change, but it's definitely going to change. I'm more into filmmaking though, guys. I'm more into filmmaking. I'm more into making films, more into making arts. I want to talk more about arts. Uh, I've done degree in arts. I've got a degree in arts, and I really love talking about arts. I really love talking about the making of the film, the process of filmmaking. I've worked in various short movies, local movies and movies in Canada. I've also worked in movies in Nepal, and every different country has their own different aspects and own different ways of um, making movie. Um, I've seen the making of Nepali movies. I've seen making of couple of Bollywood movies, but I've seen a lot of making of movies in Canada. I've seen a lot of small movies or local movies, small budget production movies being made in Canada, and every country has the very distinguished differences when they are making movies, and that is what I like the most. I've studied filmmaking, and filmmaking can be subjective, and definitely uh, filmmaking is definitely a very interesting subject that can make a large group of audience fall for the trap that filmmaking produces, right? So when you're making film, the first thing is that you're not exactly trying to tell the audience that what you are going to show to them is going to be the real thing, right? The main point of filmmaking is to rehearse the pattern that has been lived by people before. There's some filmmakers who want to recreate the real life structure in a film, while some people just want the animation, the science version, the fiction version. While there are people who also want to showcase their own different um, reality, uh, a virtual reality, right? So filmmaking has oh shoot. So uh, a, a video. Filmmaking is a retro perspective. Filmmaking in different parts of the world comes with different notions of the experiences. Um, there are few countries who have a very out of the world's way of making films. So I've seen a couple of movies from Turkey and a couple of films from Iran, a couple of films from other Middle East countries, and their way of filmmaking is so different than the way the films are made in Hollywood or any other film industries. I tried studying in more detail on how these people are investing their time and money on films, right? So I tried to study on the filmmaking and how it is done in different part of the world. I myself come from Nepal, so in Nepal, what I've seen is, you know, films. Most of the films are so commercialized that people don't take people don't take film as an art. They take film as a business, right? So they they invest in movies. There are so many people who invest in movies. They spend so much of money, time, and so much of work in movie, and they don't even see it as an art. There are not many people who see the movie making as an art. They see movie as as a goal to accomplish something in the reels, or they just see movie as a video, and they just make it and produce it. And at the end of the day, you don't see a lot of art. You don't see a lot of artistic film when you watch Nepali movies. Same goes with the Bollywood movie industry. They have also commercialized it in such a form that you don't see the artistic movies come from that industry. You don't see a lot of artistic movies come, the movie that really represents the art and culture of that country. All you see is over the top stories where things just happen randomly in a random state of time, where random people are doing random things, and random people are falling in love, and random people are fighting, and then random people are having random conversations, and all of a sudden the random film is made and produced, made, released in random time frame, and that has absolutely nothing to do with your random life. You're right. However, the certain Middle East countries, they have really understood that films has to have the meaning. Films has to have the connection to the audience. Films do need to be understood by the people. If people don't understand movies, if people do not want to seek the lesson that you are trying to teach to the people through the movies, there's no point of making films. And because of that reason, I feel and the Iranian movies and the Turkish movies do have a really good form of art. There are also some of other countries who do promote art they who promote films as an art, not as a business. They promote film as an art. That is why, if you watch one or two of those movies produced or made in those countries, they have a different sentiment when it comes to film. However, when you see, how about um, Hollywood back in the days used to promote a lot of artistic movies. They used to have movies that really meant something to someone's life. But now, currently, I do not see a lot of I do not see a lot of films being made to teach the audience the right thing, or what is the wrong thing. I see movies being made just to allure the audience, just to make the audience relevant of the time, just to make the audience uh, just to make the audience feel that they've watched the movie and then they're just following the trend. Movies need to be art. Movies has to remain as an art. It should not be a trend or just a video that watched in the cinemas or on Netflix or YouTube. I think movie needs to remain as an art. But because of the commercialization of movie making, it is tough for any human being in the world to understand what really the meaning of movie is. So that is it. And yes, because of that reason, I've been working on my AI content just to figure out a transparency on how I would want to create my sets when I'm working on my movie full time. It's a time taking process. It's not going to happen in 1 or 2 days. It is really going to take a lot of time, but I do really feel if you put down a lot of work, if you put down an honest work in an art, that art is definitely going to help you. Art has to be, I think art needs time and space. Art needs time and space to be smooth, to be nicer, to be connecting to the audience. If you cannot give time, if you cannot give space, if you cannot give your emotions to the art, then any movie, any art, anything, any content, it's not going to work. Your content, the videos that you make, the short films that you want to make, whatever you want to make, you need to give time. You need to understand that your first video is not going to be the viral video. It might happen, great, but just make sure that the first content that you produce is not going to be the famous content. You need to keep working on it. You need to keep finding the right track. You need to keep walking on the right path. Yeah, it's always a content, movie making, the art. It's always hit and miss. Nobody knew that the Mona Lisa drawn by Leonardo da Vinci would be world famous, right? Actually, it was not. The painting that was made by Leonardo da Vinci, it is not it's not one of the famous painting in the world. It was not liked by many of the people, many of the publishers back then. It took a lot of time for people to realize that it was something, and because of that reason, that's what I say. Content is content has to be an idea that is tough to be regenerated. If you think something that is tough for anyone else to think, that is going to work. Either that is going to work brilliantly, or that is going to fail in such a bad way that I don't know. Like, if you make something, if you can think something that millions of people cannot think, and if you make it, then that will either click with the audience or that will either fail with the audience. you know but I personally feel, if you're making content, the content has to be something that is way above people's thinking and way above people's expectations of what the reality is. That is what I personally feel. I don't say everyone has to think the same way, but yeah. So yeah, so just giving an update. I will be working in my next movie. Will be working in my next movie very soon. Very soon. Couple of projects has been lined up. Also in discussion with few more people about the finalizing of the scenes and all. But hopefully things are gonna get started. And yeah, movie making is definitely interesting process. Very interesting process. All you need is a very figurative way of um, planning a content in a well-paced environment. That is it, guys. I just love talking about movies. Movies are movies are really. I think movies do really speak a lot in speak a lot when it comes to telling the audience what the reality is. Thank you to Jamming for liking the live. Thank you. Yeah, guys, welcome to everyone who is joining me in the live. I've been talking about a lot of different aspects today. Really been talking about a lot of different cases. But I just love talking more about movies. Really, I think I recently watched. I actually watched a lot of movies from Bollywood, but I think I need to start. I think I need to start watching a lot of movies that are that come from very deep-rooted passages of the world. The countries like Middle East, or the countries like uh, I would say the countries, most of the European countries. I think their way of filmmaking is something that sort of inspires me sometimes. Um, yeah, I think we just need to find a right path to understand what movie making is. Because some of the movies that I've watched from, uh, I think some of the movies that I watched from has to be Iran. Some of the movie I watched from that country, I don't understand the language, but there has been subtitles in few of the movies I watched, and they really have good actors. You just don't feel like they're acting. They just do some kind of magic. They just come out in the screen. They just come out. They just stand in front of the camera, and then for every scene, they have to act. The movement is very thin. The movement of head and movement of body is very thin when it comes to the natural roles. So when they're doing the natural role as an actor, I see, as an actor, when they have to do a very sad and very emotional role, they don't move a lot. They don't try to pace themselves into the movement of the camera. They just stand still, and that gives a perfect linear shot when somebody is trying to explain, or when somebody is trying to give you the very well paced emotional shot. There have been a lot of actors, they just stand still and then give their reaction in a very well framed, in a very well framed. I don't know, the body, the head, everything's framed so well, and then and then those shots are taken with so much patience and um, so much of is involved in those kind of in those movies. While when you watch many other different movies from different places, you know, people try to act. There are filmmakers who try to show emotional shots as emotional shots, and that is why most of the time emotional scenes do not connect to the audience. An emotional man will not keep on walking, or will not keep on. Uh, Emotional man does not have a lot of movement, and that is what the loud speaking filmmaking is. You try to show to the audience that the person is emotional, but there are few filmmakers who have tried their best to not show the emotional scenes in an emotional way. So I think there's some small notions that needs to be copied, and there's some notions that needs to be learned. But the first thing that I've learned is emotional scenes do not have to be um, a moving sort of an actor. It can be still sort of an actor. But yeah, that's up, guys. That's it. Didn't really had a lot of engagement from the people, but that's fine. Hopefully things will get okay. And yeah, guys, thanks for joining my live. I did really talk about a lot of different aspects of filmmaking, the content creation from AI. Did talk about few games and talk about soccer and then fights. Well, that's my time. I don't want to get stuck around here for the long time, but yeah, guys, you guys really have a good time, and I will see you soon. Bye.